videos. Let's look at how the university responded, because I can tell you, in the video I said, look, what I'm doing is probably illegal, and worse, my employer is legally responsible for it, because that's built into the codes as well. So by the way, if you're an employer, you're responsible for everything that your employees say, and everything that anybody interprets what they said as being, whether it's unintentional or intentional, whether or not a complaint has been made. So just think about that. Anyways, October 3rd, the university said, like all members of the university community, I have an obligation to comply with the law, including the provisions of the Ontario Human Rights Code. Their policy with regards to workplace harassment, which the university implied that I was engaging in a course of vexatious comment or conduct, where the course of comment or conduct is known, or ought reasonably be known, to be unwelcome. That was the October 3rd letter, which was sent to me within 1 week of posting my videos, and it was the first. So what happened essentially was the university reviewed what I had done, and then they reviewed the policies as laid out on the Ontario Human Rights Commission website, where you guys can all go read them, by the way, and then you can decide if the legal information that you were just provided with is in any degree whatsoever accurate, because I would say it isn't. The university reviewed my videos, and they decided that what I said was true. They decided that the video I made was probably illegal, and that they were responsible for it. And so in an attempt to distance themselves from me, under counsel from their legal people, and believe me, the university has good legal people, they sent me a warning. And this is what happens if you want to discipline a recalcitrant employee, essentially, so that you don't have to bear legal responsibility for their acts. You send them a warning to show that you're not in favor of what they're doing. Then if they continue, you send them another warning. And then if they continue, you send them a third warning. And after the third warning, you can take further steps. Now, I pointed out to the university at one point, when we were discussing how this forum was going to proceed, that perhaps it would be in their best interests to not support the people who were trying to stop me from talking, but instead to support me legally, and if necessary to take this all the way to the Supreme Court. And the university said categorically that they would not do that. So I would say, when it comes to the contradictory provisions that are in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and so we might say roughly equality versus freedom of speech, the university decided which side they're going to go down on. And you know, people tell you all the time that this has to do with compassion, you know, and it's obviously the case that all of the compassion in this discussion is on the side of the people who are encouraging their listeners to play victim and perpetrator. And I can tell you, as a psychoanalytically oriented psychologist, that there's nothing more horrible for children and developing people than an excessive compassion, right? That's the standard Freudian devouring mother. And if you want a little archetype to go along with that, I suppose most of you have seen The Little Mermaid. Remember Ursula? Ursula wants to put King Poseidon's soul in a little jar in her collection, and she wants to take away Ariel's voice so she can't establish herself as a conscious being in the world. And I would suggest very strongly that all these people that continually talk to you about compassion do not, in the least, have your best interests in mind. And there are far more virtues and values than an excessive pity for people. You know, you don't want to pity your children even. You want to encourage them to develop in a strong and forthright manner so that they can go out and take on the